Right now it's 5:35. You know, those greeters at Walmart are in their final days now, and a lot of you are talking about that on our social media pages.
The big box chain announced plans to phase out the blue vested greeters last week. Doug Deloney joins us in studio. Doug, the news is worrisome for folks who fill those positions.
That's right. Part of Walmart's announcement was that they plan to take those employees who currently work as greeters and transition them into other positions. But that's part of what has these people who got employed for these reasons. They're worried and upset. The new positions will be more physically demanding in a role that's called customer host. To qualify, employees need to be able to lift 25-pound packages, climb ladders, and be able to stand for long periods of time. That means a lot of the elderly greeters or those with disabilities like cerebral palsy and spina bifida, they would not be able to transition into these new roles. The greeter position will be gone by April 26th. That, according to a company announcement and what some employees have told our sister station in Virginia, our CBS station there. They met a man named Adam Caitlin who says he can't stand for 8 hours at a time, and that's what he's being told he's going to have to do. Mary says on our Facebook page, don't take away their self-esteem. A lot of people talking about that, and a lot of those people who have disabilities look forward to their jobs every single day. Deniver says, it seems to me since Walmart, is using those checkout areas more and more and using computers, they could put some of that employee money back to keeping the greeters, but others say that self-checkout area actually is a form of employment for them as well. Rick says there's a disabled gentleman in a wheelchair at his local Walmart, and his job is to oversee the self-checkout area. So hopefully there's going to be some opportunity. We'll have to see how this plays out. Like I said, April 26th is the last date of employment for those greeters. Guys, back over to you.
Sorry to hear that.
You know what? That was always, I thought, one of the best things about Walmart.
Agreed.
That those folks could have jobs and great jobs. Always enjoy seeing them when I go in there.
That's right. That's right.
Maybe we all email.
A massive
Walmart.
email
Yes.
to Walmart. Yeah, Doug, thank you. Let's get to Blake right now for the one thing we need to know.
All right, one thing you need to know.